And this.
That's okay. It's okay. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
This is the B and the E is baby E.
Nice, baby.
And baby E. Baby.
Okay.
Baby E. Baby E. Baby E. Baby. I could call it baby E.
Are we back? Are we back? We're back. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're back. We're back. We're back. Didn't know I was live. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea what happened there. That was really weird. But hey, sorry about that. Literally, the computer just shut down there. I'll have to. We had a little off-air, on-air moment there. I'll have to check the recording, make sure it's okay there. Maybe. Okay. I think she really. Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. She is big. She is really big. She's really. How big are you now? How much do you weigh? I think she's like 54 pounds, like 25, 26 kilos. You're going to go weigh yourself and then come back. But don't bring the scale in here. Got to weigh it over there and then come back and tell us how much it is. Yeah, she's big. She's almost, I want to say, she's well over 3 feet. I want to say I think she's close to 4 feet tall. I mean, she's big. She's no doubt. I mean, she's going to be strong. She's a powerhouse. There's no doubt about it. She's unbelievable. So what I was saying is, I want to, like I said, that's really wow. That's really pretty cool technology there. I guess this is actually, that's another thing too, right? Melon App is now, and this live show is sponsored by Melon App, division of Logitech, but I guess now it is, and also division of Streamlabs. I guess this is now Talk Studio by Streamlabs. So let's congratulate Streamlabs and Melon for that. It's very, very cool. I guess this is Streamlabs now, so we're happy. We're excited about that. But what I was saying is A, thank people. B, I've been working on a lot of stuff. I think I've got a game plan here. Sometimes, like, and this is what I try to tell some leaders and stuff like that as well. Is a lot of times, particularly in automotive stuff, so many businesses, anything sales facing, anything retail facing, like you have to really take the time. Let me try to punch in a little closer here on that. You have to take the time to really be strategic and think strategically, and being able to have this time over the last few months where I was able to really do that. I was able to put together a strategy and some different opportunities where now it looks, hopefully, it's been a road, very, very exciting. There's some exciting things lined up, and everything I've been thinking about and working towards, whether it's like courses or marketing or, what we can do, where that fits in between sales and marketing, small, medium-sized businesses and automotive, and so many different things. It's all coming together, and where I want to move and moves with my family and different things like that. Okay, go ahead. What'd you find out? How much are you? How much do you weigh? Huh? How much do you weigh? What happened? Okay. It's a secret. That's the it's a secret. Fair enough. Okay, let's talk. Are you done with this one? Not yet. Okay. Yeah, you can tell me later. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Secret. Maybe later, maybe not. Anyway, she's big. She's doing great. She's fantastic. Okay, let's talk about this for a second.
This is kind of tall. July 6th.
There we go. Whatever I am, she's gonna be like, we're gonna launch your channel soon. You're excited about that. You are gonna get you're gonna eclipse me. Hold on a second.
Channel.
Right. You're going to talk about, what are you going to talk about in your channel? You're going to talk about drawing, education, good stuff for kids. Look at this drawing. Okay, you're not done yet. So I want to touch on, Jonnaire wanted to do the video with me, so I knew it was going to be this kind of video. What I wanted to do too is, I don't want to get too deep into it, and I may or may not do a show on this, because it just, again, I'm looking at all these things, do I want to get, but I have to touch on, I have to do some analysis, right? Let's talk about everything I said. Okay, let's see right here. Let's see. Right. Right, right. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. I know. She's big. There's no doubt about it. Hope you're doing well in Nepal and everything. I wanted to do some analysis of where we're at right now, economics wise, politics news, things like that, where we're at, business. We're live on LinkedIn. We're going to talk about business as well, how this impacts business policy. And I got to say, I was right again. I was right again. So let me highlight that. And let's talk about a little bit about the why. It's not about hey, I'm right. I mean that's far, but it's about the why. Let's finish this. We'll show everybody. She does it very quickly, and she has to think about number one. And I want to try to spin everything as positive as I can. Right. Number one is on the Republican primary side, political. Right. We're not gonna talk too much about. We're gonna analyze both sides. And it's actually pretty interesting. I don't see how Donald Trump's not going to be the nominee at this point, right? For a lot of reasons, whether it's polls, Durham report, where the other candidates are, trajectories of that. And I will reference you back to what I said months ago. And I know at that time, people, again, I've dealt with so many people. Not the other day, I mean, like, let's say a week ago-ish, right? A week or 2 weeks ago, I think about a week ago, I got a call from someone, I'm not going to name who, very eminent person, very smart, very connected. And that's the thing. Like, as I say, I'm nobody, but I just know a lot of things. I know a lot of people, and I can't tell you, my Rolodex is strong, and I'll just get calls, and I talk to people, and from all different places, right? The CEOs, academics, policy, all kinds of different people. And so this person was like, I think it's saying I don't want to say supporter, but okay, hold on one second. Time out. We'll come back to this. Sorry about that. Yes. We have live art. And then when a new art is ready, we got to talk about it. That's a baby. Okay. So we've got, I don't exactly sure how this goes, but we've got this art right here. Right. And again, you see some of these things, but then you see like that. I mean, that's got some serious detail. And even that, like I couldn't draw either one of those, honestly. We've got mom, dad, her, baby. We've got two other people there. We've got hearts on. We've got different things. It's definitely some like technique. I don't know. I can't draw anything like that. I'm terrible. My handwriting's not so great either. Great job.
Biggest dinosaur ever, right?
I did okay with the dinosaurs. I do like dinosaurs, no doubt about it. Dinosaurs are very cool. Okay. But let me get back to this. And I was trying to explain why President Trump, why I thought he was going to win, what the rationale. Again, it's not about who likes who, it's just analysis. This is a very, very smart person. And let's just say connected to Wall Street type of deal, right? So like a Wall Street DC type of deal, vibe. You get me? And so, and they tried to get their hands around it, but I don't know. In my opinion, I don't feel like they were understanding what I was saying. And I was trying to explain it, the why, which is exactly what I said before months ago. Even if Trump's not the nominee, this movement doesn't go away. And you're seeing different, whether it's to some degree Stefanik, Gates, Anna Paulina Luna. I mean, there's Jim Jordan. There's so many different people stepping up. To some degree, Governor DeSantis, so of course. But I don't want to. Oh man, I'm not getting into it. I don't want to get too into it. I will say that I will come back to this, but I need to say this before I forget this because this is a crucial point. I'm a super genius, okay, and I know a lot of things, and I'm an expert in a lot of things. But my expertise, even though it's, in my opinion, pretty incredible, because usually people are expert in like one thing, maybe two. I'm an expert in many different things. But those things are in a certain span. Many of these things actually relate to each other. And that's part of my talent. I'm extremely good at relating other things to other things and seeing that, you know what I'm saying? But I know where the water's edge is. And there's so many things that I'm not great at and I'll readily admit that, right? Terrible at basketball. I'm not good at handwriting. I'm not the best speller. I'm not, so many different things that I'm not good at. As I said before, my like standing joke is, do not put me in charge of a nuclear a reactor or anything like that. I have no idea. Don't put me in charge of the astronaut programs like that.
You don't know how to dribble?
I don't know. Dribble and right.
You like bounce it with your hand.
I'm not that. See, she knows. I don't even. But the point, the point I'm trying to make. Hold on. Okay. Be careful, please. The point I'm trying to make is this. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Because we're in the news, particularly now. Like politics is everywhere. You can't turn on the news. If you're watching sports, it's politics. If you're watching late night comedy, it's politics. If you're watching a movie, it's politics. It's everywhere and it's nauseating. It's like way too much. And people are over it. I'm someone that's grown up. I'm a political science major. I've run campaigns. I've done the whole thing. My family's been involved. All kinds of different stuff. My dad was involved in government and policy. My brother's involved in government and policy, etc. We know people on both sides. All this stuff. I know international politics. I think it's so like it's too much, right? A 50%. We're all human beings. Like we gotta come together. Like, this is not how people live their day-to-day lives. But because politics are everywhere, it's almost like, like whatever, a really, really popular TV show or a really popular movie, like everyone's going to have an opinion on it. That's totally cool. You can have an opinion on it, but that doesn't mean you're an expert on it. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to appreciate expertise. And the analogy I made, and so I would talk to these people that are really smart. And they're leaders, and they're way more successful than me in their businesses and financially and whatever like that. Okay, Jonnaire's going to show us how to dribble off camera here. I can already see she's doing a better job than me. But let me. Okay, no bouncing. It's too late at night. But the point I'm trying to. No bouncing. No too late at night. There you go. You're doing great. You're amazing. Come on over here. When you're done, come on over here. Oh, but not tonight. Okay, come on over here. Keep doing your drawings. So the point I'm trying to make, and the best analogy, I was talking to my little brother on this. Just because, obviously, if you can, if you're a voter, you can vote, of course, so, whatever. And just because you can, let me forget about that. Let's take that out and revise and amend that. Everyone can have an opinion on who they like in politics, everything like that. But that doesn't mean you're an expert. Like, I know that I'm not an expert at a lot of different things. I am an expert in politics. Like, I've run campaigns. I've advised campaigns, consulted for campaigns successfully. I'm a political science major, undergrad at Berkeley, law school at Berkeley, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And my calls have been right. If you followed me, my calls have been right so many times. But my point I would try to say, like, you could be super smart about something, like, and here's the analogy that I will make. Just hold that thought, little, because this is a great analogy, I think. I hope so. We got an art break here. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? More art. with fanfare. I gotta wind it down because that we may lose this camera. I don't think I can go too long. I think I'm good for about an hour. But what I was gonna say is, here's the analogy I would make. If you follow football, if you don't follow football, this may not make sense. If you follow football, this will make a lot of sense. So I was a Tim Tebow fan. Forget about everything. Like, just as a player, the story, Florida, run, pass, offense, the whole thing, whatever. This is one of the best, this was a highly acclaimed college quarterback, won a national title, may have won 2 national titles. I got to look it up, but definitely and all this stuff. But there were NFL scouts. There were people that said, I don't know if Tim Tebow's game, even though he was a QB of a national championship Division I SEC team. They said there were scouts, there was other NFL experts. They were saying that we don't know if that game translates into the NFL to the level of success that Tim had on a college level. And there's different things, and we can get into. I've talked a lot about Tim Tebow, and I'm a fan, and we've talked about different things, and all this stuff, and whatever. But you know, objectively, and Tim did stuff with Denver, and we were rooting him on as a fan. But objectively, so they're saying good job on your good job. Thank you, brother, thank you, brother. They're saying, objectively, though that analysis was at least somewhat correct. Tim Tebow did not have the NFL career of a John Elway or Joe Montana or fill in the blanks, let alone Tom Brady, Steve Young, so many different QBs. And I didn't know because I wasn't an expert. I was an athletic expert. I'm an athletic expert, national champion, trained pro athletes, all that type of stuff. But I'm not a football expert, just like I'm not an NBA expert. Okay. You have to know what you know. And so, it didn't translate. But as a fan, I could intellectually understand what they were saying, but I couldn't see what they were seeing because they are experts. That's their job. That's what they do. Now, again, there's potential politics and there's different things, whatever like that. But the Tim Tebow fan, couldn't understand that. Similarly, you may not like Donald Trump. You may want Governor DeSantis. You may want President Biden. You may, who knows, whoever your candidate is. Maybe you want Governor Newsom, whatever. Who knows, whatever. We have RFK Jr. running now. We've got other people, that are. We've got Vivek Ramaswamy running. There's different candidates out there. You may want these different candidates. That's fine. What you want and how successful you are in your field doesn't mean you're a political expert. You're going to understand how this plays out. The point being, the bottom line is people are smart now. People see things. There's the internet, stuff like that. We're seeing this in business results. We're seeing things that are going on. What I predicted before is all coming. Not all. It's not like it's, I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus here or anything like that. But the trends, I see trends, mega trends. I study things. I analyze things. The mega trends, the reality, it's coming to pass. You can't hire a bunch of people and not have them do anything. That doesn't make sense, right? Tech companies are paring down. That's going away. These interest rates are crushing. The energy crunch is crushing. That's hurting businesses and stuff. People want to feel like they're represented in government. People are not happy if they have something in with this tragedy in Ohio, and they're like, hey, where's everybody at, right? And that's not a cool look. People, parents want to be involved with their kids. There's so many different things that are going on. And where are we at? And I think that this person, what I was talking to, they just couldn't see it. And what I'm saying is, look, people want representative government. People want policies that work. People want things that make sense. And in large point, so many people don't want to have to think about politics. Just want to be left alone. Just want to be left alone, right? And similarly, when I'm going to leave that there. I may do another on politics. I may not. I just, but I'll say the shortcut is we have another piece of art. See how fast she just cranks these out. I mean, she could just do this all night and she'd love to do it. The short story is not everything's political. People have to just chill out. We're human beings, be happy, love your family, kiss your family, have fun with your neighbor, have some food with people, enjoy life. Who knows, right? I mean, we all only have so much time and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's important, but it's like when everyone's concerned about what your avatar is on social media and you're changing it every 2 weeks and like you have to. And I was going to do a show about this before. Like, how do you know what you know? Right? Because there's people like, oh my gosh, this is the news story of a year ago. Well, how's that news story look now? We just saw the Durham report. Everybody that was all about Russia, how's that looking now? It was all made up. That's what the report said. You do need to try. Right. And again, I don't want to get into the back and forth, and I'm not trying to make this political, but that should be that alone. And there's like 20, 30 of those, right? Should be a cautionary tale. A cautionary tale to people about like, how do you know what you know? If you're taking everything off wherever the headline, the whatever, I mean, these news agencies are businesses. Twitter files, Durham report. Look at all these things, but it's not just one side. I mean, you've got, and again, I'm not getting in. You've got both sides saying things that are causing people to be uncomfortable. And my thing is like, look, I'm where Elon Musk is at, right? And I've been there, and I'm where Silicon Valley was. It has been like old school OG Silicon Valley, right? Old school Silicon Valley, which is basically almost libertarian. Like let's do really fun stuff. Let's work hard. Let's do moonshot stuff. But who cares? Like the politics doesn't matter. The tech matters. The talent matters. You'll never. It's talent, 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 talent more than everything. Talent, 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 talent. But and so you got to take the politics out. You got to take the politics out of academia. You got to take the politics out of science and research. You got to take the politics out of venture capital. You got to take the politics out of business. So that goes back to my other show from like about 6 months. 50% strategy is not 100% strategy. When you're a company, and we've seen this from different things, when you're a company that makes money on family-friendly entertainment, or your branding is Americana, or I mean, there's so many different examples of this, or you're the only, the main conservative outlet on news, and you just start cutting against, you're changing your brand, or you're changing talent, or you're making these moves that kind of could be seen as punking out your core audience. That's not a good business strategy. That may get you points on whatever ESG, scorecard for investment in Wall Street and this and that, whatever. But again, how does that help you if you hurt your fundamental business dramatically? And we're seeing that. And now you're seeing, and I'm not all, the left has been more for, this list and boycott, and now all of a sudden, you're seeing on both sides, people on the right like, hey, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna buy this, product. And I'm not advocating. I mean, but it's like at some point it was going to happen. Like you can't have people say that it's not a great business strategy to say, oh, I'm gonna sign up for being punked out and canceled and deplatformed and my values and all. Like that doesn't make any sense. And you're seeing some of these companies that thought they were going to be like you're seeing some of this situation where ratings are just crashing and they're not recovering. Sales are crashing, not recovering. It's like it's not a good strategy. So a tech job is not activism. Family, corporate entertainment is not activism. Like you have to be able to separate these different things, right? That's why when I do my stuff, it's like, okay, this show's gonna be on this and this show will be on this. You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing a show on the radio, it'll be about this. If I decide to launch something on other platforms, it might be this. If I'm doing, a general show, if I've got my daughter here, you know what I mean? Like you've got to calibrate. You have to understand who your audience is. That's why when I go live on LinkedIn, I'm going to talk about some business and some career stuff, policy stuff, and whatnot. And here we go. Nice, awesome, beautiful. We got rainbows. We got hearts. We got a smiley face. We got. You need more paper. Oh my goodness. Do you know where the paper is? Can you grab some? You want some? You want to draw more? Are you okay? Okay. Yeah, let's review. Let's have an art review here for a quick. So we've got this, and she's done this all in like what, 44 minutes, not all of it. And we have a ball here, and we've got this, and we've got this. I mean, we have a lot of similar things, but they're, still really good. And of course, I'm extremely biased. We've got this, and we've got this, and we've got this, and we've got this one. Now this one's from before. This is probably one of my favorites. We really have to save this and protect this. I love this. This is so cool. And we may make some of this available later. Print. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I have to talk to mom and daughter about that. We've got this, and we've got Yeah. Go hang out with Mama. Thanks, Jonnaire. You did a great job. Thank you. Right. Awesome. So there you go. So that's Miss Jonnaire in the live art. So and you see the same thing in business, right? I see the same thing in business. I've talked to business leaders. Look to close out on the politics stuff is like, you know, like all of life can't be politics. That's just not how life works, dude. That's not what people want to do. And politics have to be, representatives have to be representative of the people. And when issues, poll 70-30, 60-40, all that type of stuff, like at some point, like it has, for 10, 20, 30 years, like people want to see those policies and, people want to have, you can't just gear everything towards the donors and megacorps and all this type of stuff and the elite and everything. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm just saying that like just like in life, like things that life always likes balance. Does that make sense? Right? Life likes balance. Like I'm all about expertise, and I'm obviously I love degrees and education, everything like that. But life's about balance. But let's get some numbers in here just to see where we're at. Just right now. If you have it, if you're not apprised of it, and now kind of cap off the politics, I'll move back to business, and we'll kind of wind things down here. Um, because there's just been so much going on. I haven't done a show, but for a while, so I just need to catch up. We need to catch up with and kind of touch on some things that I've been talking about, and we're seeing that. Yeah, that was correct. So right now, real clear politics as of tonight, Friday, 5/19. We've got Trump on the average up 36.9%. And we've got Trump at a 56.3 combined, DeSantis at 19.4. And if you look now, the news reports are DeSantis should be announcing, soon, maybe as early as next week. We'll see. But if you look even back to like what date? What's the date of this? I mean, there's just been an absolute. I'm not trying to be March 31st, 2023. Let's go right here. You had Trump at 45. I don't know when it was closest. I mean, February 25th, you had Trump at 43.3, DeSantis at 30.5. Then you had as recent as March 30th, you had Trump at 45.9, DeSantis at 30.1. And then it's just been this, Trump's going up, DeSantis going down. There's a lot of reasons for that. And like I said before, I mean, some of this was so obvious, right? Particularly to a political expert and stuff like that. But I don't think you need to be an expert on this. It's like I don't think you need to be a political expert on this. Trump got President Trump, got almost 70 million votes last time. In my opinion, his policies compared to the policies we're seeing now compare pretty favorably, right? And if business, some people think that the economy is going to get way worse, and we're seeing that. We're seeing business leaders, we're seeing different people, we're seeing moves in hiring, we're seeing people lay off, stuff like that. Like if it gets worse, there's question marks about where interest rates are going to go with Chairman Powell. There's question marks about what's going on with the student loan thing. I mean, think about that. Like if the student loan thing gets punked out and all that, then and there's different arguments on both sides. Again, I'm not even talking at all about the merits of anything. I'm just talking politically. There's a lot of supporters of President Biden, in my opinion, that are looking for some kind of, solution or policy or something on that stuff. And there's obviously criticisms of there's both sides of that, right? Of course. But if there's no student loan relief, then what does that do to President Biden's and the Democrats writ large, supporters? What impacts are going to have? I mean, so think about this. No student loan relief, economy gets much worse, layoffs accelerate. Where are we going to be at? Look at the polls now. You have also, where are we going to be at a year from now? Right, when we're really in the middle of this election, season, where it's not even, and it's starting to really ramp up. Because if you look at the total polls, there was a Harvard-Harris poll that just came out there, and you've got Trump 47, Biden 42. So you had the insider Republicans and the Bush types that were talking about the quality of the candidates and electability, and that was Governor DeSantis' argument, I think, like that. Well, now you've got Trump 47, Biden 42, DeSantis 42, Biden 42. So who's really electable, right? By the polls and stuff. And they've got, Governor DeSantis raised a lot of money. And listen, I don't want to upset the DeSantis people or anything like that. And he has done a phenomenal job as governor. I don't approve of everything. I'm not condoning everything. I'm not endorsing the entire this and that. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are moving to Florida. Now, President Trump has his comments on that, and I agree with a lot of that. I mean, it's not hard to sell sunshine and beach, right? It's not hard to sell low taxes. And he's 100% right about that. But at the same time, like, you've got to give respect to Governor DeSantis on a lot of things. He's speaking to a lot of things. He kept Florida open. There was something, and then there was a pivot, and that's why tons of people moved here. I just talked to someone tonight, and I don't know what their politics are, or whatever, but definitely came from a blue state. I'm not going to go too much into it, but they're like, yeah, Florida's great. I'm glad I'm here. Right. A lot of people think Florida is now, like, this is the probably the sort of epicenter in a lot of ways of Republican politics now, right? And Governor DeSantis, deserves a lot of credit for that. His team, his people, he's been a great governor. I think that he's made some political errors, and I think that it just happens, right? I mean, no one's perfect, and he's. Okay, Trump's new to politics too. In some ways, maybe, a similar level of experience to Governor DeSantis. But the difference with President Trump is President Trump's, has a lot more wisdom and has way more business success and experience and stuff like that. So President Trump's been around policymakers for a long time. It's been around leaders for a long time. It's a different deal, and understand and got a lot of business leaders around him and stuff. And so what I'm saying is, I think that at this point, Governor DeSantis is committed to run. I don't see how he beats President Trump. But I think you can run. And I think, and it's kind of what I said before, and President Trump kind of echoed sort of what I said, which is, look, you can run, you can do the Vivek Ramaswamy thing. And I'm not saying that's the thing. I mean, I think you can showcase your success, your absolute successes in Florida. I think you can run a campaign out there. But I mean, I'm not giving any advice. I'm not giving any advice or anything like that. It's just my analysis. If I were there from an analytical standpoint, you may want to calibrate the campaign, or you've got to make a positive case. I think I know it's positive, negative. I think trying to make the negative case on Trump, I don't think it's going to work, dude. I don't think that's going to work. And when I said before, when he had the comment of, which is kind of bore out, like I'm trying to say so much, and I'm getting more into this than I wanted to, but when they before, like, oh, this isn't the issue with the whole Trump thing, whatever like that. No, it's the issue, okay? And okay, we've got down here. It is the issue, right? You cannot have the media or the other side pick your candidates and stuff like that. And that's kind of it's conversation I had, and I got to be really careful how I want to say this. This other leader I was talking to, very, very connected person, like I said, Wall Street, DC, different things like that. And I don't want to say more than that. Was all like, hey, it's about inclusivity and everything like that. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm all for that. I've always been for that. I've marched for that. Believe me, my family, we're all into it. Peace, love, freedom, opportunity, equality for everyone, 100%. I want to be very delicate how I try to do this. And it's live. This is a little I'm a risk taker, right? 100%. But the thing that's been happening with cancel culture is you have cancel culture. We have things we need to work on. Every society has things they need to work on. We're a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress, right? We all need to be better to each other. We all need to love each other. We all need to help each other. And we need to try to understand other people's point of views. And that's really important. Everybody has their own trials and struggles and things that they go through. And that doesn't diminish anything or make anything right or anything like that. But what happens with some with the cancel culture is that can be used, and not casting words, but that can be used as a weapon to grab power and to silence other people and do different things. And I don't want to get too deep into this and whatnot. And the point I was trying to make to this person is I totally agree with you. And I've been 100% for this and everything like that. But understand, if we don't have free speech, nobody has free speech. If we don't have liberty, nobody has liberty. If we don't have financial security, nobody has, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's issues that are 100% issues for everybody. Like, we need to secure those first, and our constitutional rights and our basic rights and everything like that. Like, everything's important. But issues that are 100% important, again, a 50% strategy, a 10% strategy, a 0.1%, whatever it is not a 100% strategy. Like, if you do not have free speech, what do you have? What are we gonna have? A ministry of truth now? Are they gonna? It's gonna be like, the Tom Cruise movie and stuff like that, where they're gonna try to get in your thoughts and stuff like. What are we talking about here, dude? And I was talking to this person again, coming from the blue state, stuff like that, like about a little bit about stuff like, yeah, some of the stuff from before looks a little different now. Yeah, it looks different now. Just like the Durham report, things look different now. I had be careful what I say. I had people close to me that were like, oh yeah, Trump, Russia, he's guilty of something. What is he gonna? Well, he's guilty. Well, no. Well, now what? It's like that old saying, with the stuff, where do I go to get my reputation back, right? And again, it's not a left-right thing. It's like there's so many different examples. There's examples on the left. There's all kinds of different examples. Like, how do you know what you know? You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean question everything, but I've always been a little bit. I just think that people with power and money usually want power and money. I don't think, no conspiracy, right? And in some ways that's okay. Competition's okay. I'm a capitalist. I'm all through and through. I'm all for that and stuff like that. But you have to respect that. And you talk about work, and we talk about LinkedIn. People want to live different ways. People want to work different ways. People want to, worship, whatever. They have different ideas, different beliefs. That's okay. Allowing people space, like Elon says, he's not the. This is the great saying, right? I'm gonna forget it. I feel bad. I want to say it's Oliver Wendell Holmes or something like that. It's like people. Free speech. The test of free speech is not allowing people to say things you agree with. The test of free speech is allowing the person that you may not, like, to say something that you don't like. That's a test of free speech, right? And insert whatever else you want there, right? If you're a company, if you're a corporate thing, hey, we're a family. Okay, well, are you going to support people? And I hear this from I've heard this from attorneys, right? That have, talked about big firm culture. And there was a memo that got circulated before. I don't want to get too into this and about from a big firm. And I get the super work hard thing, but I've heard from a lot of women that like, hey, when I had a child, I didn't get that support that I thought I was going to have, allegedly. This is my opinion, paraphrase, hypothetically, whatever. I'm not alleging anything, whatever. And there's people that kind of had to do their own thing and start their own business or maybe start their own firms. And I get it, right? But at the same time, like, and I've seen this, and I've talked about this with the Miami thing and the new tech thing and the venture thing. Like, you're seeing all this like stuff in venture now and tech about like super left-wing causes and equity and everything like that. Like, and I just want to find, if I'm running a venture, I just want to find the best businesses. If I'm helping companies, I just want to help the best companies out. If you have a personal mission of, I want to mentor, I want to reach out, I want to give people a hand, perfect, fantastic. That takes time, that takes effort. That's not a quick fix. If you, on the other hand, I've seen some things out there where I'm like, like, hey, guess just it feels like this isn't really maybe totally fair, whatever. Like I just don't want to get bogged. I've got to wrap up here. So this is a shorthand. I'm going to try to do the best job of this I can, but it's almost like, hey, where's the board seats? Hey, where's the funding? Hey, okay, well, you can say that things, maybe the system's not perfect right now, but it's kind of worked in a lot of ways. Like you have to make you can't make a political case for venture funding. That's okay. You don't make a political case for venture funding or why your business should work. Make a business case. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say, hey, maybe, I think we should get a look and here's why business. But you got to make the business case. You can't make a political case because the political case is not going to hold up. Why? Because the business is not, if the business fundamentals aren't there, it's not going to work. And similarly, I've seen this, I've talked about this in automotive and stuff like that. And I had a conversation like this very recently. And it's like, okay, like I'm a superstar in automotive. I'm a 20 to 40 car luxury up kind of person. You cannot put me in, you can, but it's not going to pencil out to put me in a store that's only selling 30 cars with 10 other salespeople. That's not going to pencil out. Either I'm happy and they're all unhappy, or they're all sort of happy and I'm unhappy, or everyone's unhappy more likely. It's just not going to pencil out unless you have a plan to radically change everything. Does that make sense? Right? So you can think that I've got the best process. You can think that I'm the best leader. You can think that, hey, you're just a salesperson. Why can't you just be happy? Just come here and sell cars. It doesn't pencil. It doesn't make sense. You don't have the right strategy. You don't have the right business look. That doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It doesn't mean that anybody needs me. Nobody needs John Villarreal or whatever. It just means that doesn't, you're not being, in my opinion, I'm not sure you're being honest with yourself. Or maybe you don't know how to be honest with yourself. And I'm not trying to be a punk, but I'm saying like, this doesn't make sense. Which goes back to, it's all full circle, right? If you're Disney and your brand is like the happiest place on earth, like you can't like, dude, bro, what? Like, I don't listen. I can't answer every comment here, especially if I apologize. I'm trying to wind down the show and everything like that. I can't, I've got to like kind of, especially things that may take me off topic. So I'm sorry about that, right? But I'm trying to get a bunch of thoughts in here. It's been a while since I've been, so I apologize. But if you're the happiest place on earth and you're about family entertainment, like, it's got to vibe, whatever your business is, it's got to connect with your audience. If you want to evolve the brand, okay, but if you take a tremendous departure or significant departure, or maybe even almost a 180 in certain news, different business cases out there, then you can expect that to have an impact. If you're Fox News and you get rid of the #1 rated show, maybe it works, maybe that doesn't work. Maybe network TV is not where you have to be anymore. Maybe that's not and then when you have AOC, when you have other people like deplatforming works, people start wondering. And that's when people talk about to understand Trump is you've got people that have lost everything, right? You've got people that don't feel like they have a shot. They don't feel like their kids have a shot. Their town is riddled with fentanyl and oxycodone and all this type of stuff, where the steel jobs are gone, the coal jobs are gone. They don't know anyone that goes to Harvard or Stanford, stuff like that. They don't feel like they have opportunity. And here's someone saying, look, I'm coming to your town. I want to make your life better. I'm going to go to a pizza parlor and what did let me put that. Did I not tell you Byron Donalds is a superstar? Did I not? That man is, I love that dude. He is really, and I told you, I'm like, again, you listen to me, you are ahead of the game. Byron Donalds. I mean, woo. And my point is that reality hits, the truth always comes out. If you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about what story you told. Okay? And so there's people that say, look, I had a better, things were going better under Trump. And because of Durham and all that stuff, that like it's not going to get fixed. You can't, whatever. That the way to kind of, that because of this, that the argument, the political argument, the political analysis is that maybe you have to elect Trump. That's the only way, that to correct it politically or something like that. And then you have, it's very interesting to see what's going on with President Biden. He says he's running, but then there's like, there's just really the things that are going on with Senator Fine, like the way people are talking about that. Like, I don't understand how I don't know what happened with this announcement. She's not running. Like, look, I don't agree with, I don't vote on the Democrats, but I have a lot of respect for Senator Feinstein. I used to live in California. Like, we're in a weird space. We're in a really weird space, right? I mean, the staff doesn't run the Congress. The Congress people need to run the Congress. You get me? And same thing with the corporations and everything. Everyone's got to, you got to stay in their lanes to some degree, right? I mean, the system has to work the way the system's designed to work. And so I think it's very interesting now, but I'm an optimist. I believe in people and things are playing out the way I think it's going to. If I had to, here's my guess. And I'm not making a prediction, but here's my guess. I think we're in a really interesting spot right now where the economy could go either way. It could get better, significantly better, or it could get a lot worse. And if it gets a lot worse, you got to think that it's going to help President Trump. And then, the other thing is that like weird stuff's happening globally too, right? If I had to guess, I think President Trump has a very good chance to get reelected. I can't put a number on that. I think it's at least 50-50, right? Obviously things can change. A week's a lifetime in politics. That's the old saying, everything like that. I do think that I think it's going to be tough for this year. I think it might be tough next year. It could get a lot worse, or it could kind of stay here and maybe ameliorate, get a little better. Because I could see where like maybe things try to get a little better for the election, stuff like that. I can see things are starting to move a little bit more towards the center. We're seeing some, some of the hyper partisanship come down a little bit. We're seeing, some of the things coming out. We're seeing some people stepping up, with Elon and different things. But I think my guess is I would think it's going to be a little bit rough sailing for the next half a year to a year and a half. And it's the same conversations I've had with some of the business. They're like, listen, I'm not magic. I don't walk on water. Like, I can do this if I have this, but it's going to be challenging. It's going to be tough. And here's what we're going to have to do. And but let's work on these things. And that's why I said to my wife, I was like, okay, we need to do this and this and this to hedge and work on some different stuff. And everything like that. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's like, I just saw this. I'll put this. It's kind of funny. I'm not saying I endorse this. I just wanted to. I'll probably got it. He's like, so, it's like, I think it's going to be tough the next year and a half, but it might get a little bit better. I think this summer is going to tell a lot. I really think that. This summer is going to tell a lot. I think that part of it too is, and this all comes together. I mean, if it's Trump, I think the election, I think the Democrats' answer to that has to run a certain way. If it's Governor DeSantis or someone else, then you could maybe implement a different strategy, right? And I think that Trump's the stronger candidate, and I think the polls are bearing that out. That might change. We'll see. Governor DeSantis get in here. He can make his case. Let's see what's up. He has a strong record in Florida to talk about. But there are some criticisms as well. And there's this ongoing thing with Disney and there's some other stuff. We'll see. Let's see. Make the case. I'm all for it. Let everybody come in and have the debates. I'm not saying they have to be on Fox News or wherever like that, but have the debate somewhere. Same thing on the other side. Have the candidates on stage. This idea that both sides are not going to debate, I don't like that. But that doesn't mean that it has to be on network news. That doesn't mean it has to be from the mainstream media. But just have you should have a forum where the candidates, as many candidates as possible, within reason, whatever, can have it out. Even if it's just a fireside chat and they go back and forth, do that. Do different things. I don't need a reporter asking questions. We'll just have them discuss, put them on a show, whatever. You just need to have a chance for voters to be able to hear from the candidates. How about that? You know what I mean? And so I do think that it's very dependent on what happens with the candidates. I think it's going to be Trump. I can see things getting a little bit better for the economy after summer or getting way worse. If it gets way worse, I think that sets up Trump to win. I think Trump's better than 50-50 to win. And then I think the Republicans maybe have a Republican wave with that. And I think things get a lot better. I'm not saying it's one side or the other side. I'm just saying that globally, we've had a disconnect, right? Where, hold on one second. Well, see, and then here you go. So, I mean, I think without getting into all the different specific, and it's the same thing in the business world. Like everything can't be politics and everything can't be activism. If you are a company, I was thinking about this, in the shower and stuff like that. Went to the pool with my daughter and everything, and afterwards, and trying to get we have a saltwater pool and stuff. So I rinse off, get the salt water off, and so then I'm like, if your company is about a certain brand, and let's say you're Ben and Jerry's, right? And you're like the Vermont thing and whatever like that. Okay, cool. I get that. And you have cool ice cream, whatever. If that's your thing, that's okay. That's fine. But you could have really good ice cream. I love Tillamook ice cream, but probably a little too much. My wife, we stumbled oh my gosh, this stuff's really good. And of course it's got the cream. It's all of that. It's at least, it's every bit as good, if not better, than Ben and Jerry's, but I don't know that they do any political stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you look at this, a lot of people say, I don't need politics with my beer. You know what I'm saying? Especially on a brand that was all about Americana and everything like that. It's there's so many different microbreweries out there and stuff. They're just about just good local beer and stuff like that. And I don't drink anyway. So, but I'm just saying that's not a good business strategy. You have to, a 50% strategy is not a 100% strategy. That doesn't mean that don't ever take a position. But it means that you have to be well thought out in that. There's been a feeling that whether it's nudge or pushing people or almost, this kind of, people don't want to feel like they're being pushed to do something, right? Or talked down to or looked down on. If you don't like your customers, that's not a good place to be business wise, right? You better be thankful. That's how I started this thing. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's helped me. Thank you to everyone that's helped my family. Thank you to the teachers that are educating my daughter. Thank you to the people that are trying to help my wife. Thank you to the people that have tried to help me. You have to have someone told me, "Oh, John, you need to be more humble." Oh, I totally I agree and disagree with that. I totally agree. Well, I disagree in that if you're trying to squelch my shine or stop my ambition or anything like that, that's never going to happen, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I'll take care of my family, but I may be homeless, or I'm gonna have my boots on. You get me? This is me. Don't flex it on me. This is how I am. Don't be trying to limit me. That's never gonna happen. I'm a superstar, and that I live like a superstar, and I live like a free individual, and that's the way it's gonna be. On the other hand, look, I'm not what I was lifting wise. I'm mortal. We're all going to die. You be thankful for things. Nothing's promised. Nothing's guaranteed. Of course, be humble. Obviously, we all need to help each other out. We're all limited. We're all, you know, imperfect, everything like that, right? So you need to have humility in business and understand that your relationship with your customers should be really, really special. You need to tune into them. You don't try to change their mind, push on them. Oh, we don't like this branding. We need to, things need to change, evolve. You need to tune. But when you're trying to it's just not like, you need to respect the audience. I respect my audience. I thank you for watching my shows. I thank you for listening to me. I thank anyone that helps me out there. Like you got to know what you're doing. That goes back to a strategy and stuff like that. Like if you think about it, the people that think they're the smartest are the people that change their banners and headlines. 1 month it's a flag, another month it's a mask, another month it's this. I mean, it's constantly changing. Dude, how smart, how cool and hip are you? You look like a sheep. Now, if you're all for whatever cause, if you believe that, that's great. But why is it a revolving door? Same thing with people that are all the tech, Miami Tech. First it was crypto, then it was metaverse, then it was now it's AI. I mean, it's wait, how many game-changing unicorn, world-busting, universe-expanding technologies can we have in 18 months? You know what I'm saying? It's not about any of those specific technologies. It's about, dude, you're just trying to, I mean, it's like this is like a TikTok fad, or like, what are we doing? Like, it's just like, whatever, so it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And you also have to understand that not everybody wants what you want. That's a really key concept, right? I mean, like for myself, like I used to think like, oh, I want to, and you have people that are in certain silos, right? If you're in the political silo, almost all of them want to be president, right? If you're a Wall Street, big money, start up in Silicon Valley. I want to be a unicorn. I want to be the next Elon Musk, whatever it is. That's cool. Not everybody, but there's some people that don't want that. Some people just want to be a live in Key West, or just fish for crabs, or be on their boat, or whatever. They want to be left alone. They want to be off the grid in Alaska or wherever. And that's success to them. And that's okay. That's fine. That's what the world and diversity and all that stuff is about. Similarly, if you're a company, you have to think about how can you do your core mission, but attract talent that is really different and diverse and has different goals and different stuff like that. Like, again, if you're only looking, like I look at this and I don't, again, I'll say it again. I'm not a football expert, but I looked at Travis Bajan's kid. I can't remember his name. I apologize. I guess he was a really great quarterback, is a really great quarterback, did amazing things at a D2 school, but because he was at a D2, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he got the same, like if he was at a D1 school, I don't know what's going, I don't know why that guy's, I don't know if he's, I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. I thought I did, again, I don't even follow it because I've been so busy with my stuff, but that could be a case where maybe this is a real talent. Tom Brady went in the 6th round. How did that happen, right? I mean, Michael Jordan, I mean, high school and college versus pros. So this is what I'm talking about. So sometimes you miss talent. Sometimes you don't understand you're so insistent on doing it our way. You don't understand how to get people on board and how to reach out for talent that can be there. So going back to my other thing, where we're talking about all this venture capital equity and all this type of stuff, whatever like that, if you are, as I said this to someone, and I don't want to name their name. Really, really great. She's awesome, and I think that hopefully I enlightened her, and she's doing great things in that space. Actually, I'm like, look, I'm all for it. I'm down. I'll help you any way that I can. I want to help as many. I want to be as inclusive as possible and get people in venture capital and everything like that. Even if I'm not in it right now, whatever. But the key is to be inclusive without being exclusive. You get me? If you're doing what you criticize, how is that progress? Right? It's just over here instead of over here. Like, that's not like, dude, if I get back into venture capital, whatever, if I do tech and I've got some different ideas, I want to look at everything because I want the best deals from wherever they're coming from. Right? So again, a 50% strategy is not a 100% strategy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not, so you're going to see a course correct. It's already course corrected. These things aren't working. What's going on at Fox News right now is not viable to be at the level of success that they had. I don't think it's going to work. Disney the same way. Budweiser, you go on down the list, right? Again, doesn't mean that you can't have like whatever, but you can, if you want to be a mission-based company, that's okay. Like you have like Black Rifle Coffee or maybe Ben and Jerry's or whatever. But if you have Black Rifle Coffee, you could have your strong niche, but don't, maybe people that are into Ben and Jerry's or watch MSNBC, they may not buy your brand. They might not. I don't know. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to understand what your brand is. And we got to respect the audience. So what's the bottom line? Bottom line is this. I think Trump's going to be the Republican nominee. I don't see anything that's going to change that right now. Of course, everything can change. I don't think anything's going to change that right now. I think that's what I see. I think that DeSantis is going to get in. Let's see what that campaign looks like. I think the economy, coin toss. My gut says I think it'll get a little bit better. I mean, it could go off a cliff because, I mean, you see commercial real estate, you see interest rates, you see home sales down. There's a lot of storm clouds. But I also think the countervail to that is I think people are kind of getting back to, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is what I'm saying. And this is how it all ties together. If we're stuck into, we're all for this left-wing stuff and we're just going to force it down from the boardroom up, from the corporate media up, this and that, whatever. You're right. Yeah, right. George Carlin, I remember that. Absolutely. I think, yeah, it's great. Yeah, exactly. Then I think we're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's how we got to this thing, right? I mean, we had a great economy, and again, the bull runs only last for so long, and it extended and everything like that, and you get these bubbles, stuff like that. Then we're in trouble, right? If, however, like 2023 is a year where reality hits, and there's a little more sanity, and people kind of get back to work, and compensation equals value, and you're paying for performance, not paying for positions, and we decrease in the partisanship, and we talk to each other, and we help each other out, and we look for 100% strategies, not 50% strategies. And then I think things can ameliorate, and it may take the political impetus and necessities, because a lot of these are political problems. That's why I come back to politics, right? A lot of these are political problems, in my opinion. If they see, then I think it can ameliorate. If, on the other hand, we're like doubling down, like, hey, deplatforming is great. Oh, okay, you didn't like that ad? Let's do 5 more ads, whatever. Then it's like, you could see we're gonna cancel culture people. We're gonna do all this type of stuff. Then I think it's like, who knows? Along with just some people like saying that the Fed, waited too long. Now they're acting too much. So overcorrected, whatever. There's a lot of economic damage here, right? There's supply chain issues, there's interest rate issues, there's all this type of stuff, right? misallocation of funds, potentially all these types of things, right? And so, if you had a venture fund that started last year or two, how's that portfolio looking, right? I mean, so all that. So I just feel like people have to get back to fundamentals, get back to basics. But at the same time, progress has been made. I think on the flip side, and I want to make sure I mention this too, I think, talking to this contact of mine, is this Wall Street, DC type of contact. It's like, my side, the Republican side, or conservative side needs to do has done a great job. And there's many examples out there. This is what's so unfortunate. It's part of this media, it's part of it all, but just has to continue you have to understand what your environment is and understand, you have to do a better job of talking about inclusivity. Because it's the same thing said different ways. People want to feel like they have a fair shake. People want to feel like they are part of it. People want to feel like everyone has an equal shot and we're all in this together. So that message has to be given. And that can't be like overlooked on my side and stuff like that. But I do think that this is the year where we're getting back to reality, where things are looking better. I've seen, and that's why I wanted to say thank you with this video, is I've seen so many people that have been so gracious and helpful to us and my family and stuff as I've tried to sort things out, and it's almost sorted out and figure some different things out, and we're working hard and we're trying to make the right life for our family, and we're dealing with stuff that so many people are dealing with different things out there. And, we can do this. And we're doing it, and it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It either starts getting better. I think it either starts getting better at the end, sometime in the summer, the end of summer, or it gets better next year. That's what I think right now. We'll see. We'll adjust. But I'm seeing different signs out there. I'm seeing leaders step up. I'm seeing businesses, markets sending signals out there, and I think it's gonna correct, because it just has to. Things that are not sustainable are not sustainable. This is as simple as that, right? I mean, this is what I'm saying. 50% strategy, not 100% strategy. You have to serve consumers. You have to add value. You have to have people, working. You have to be productive. You have to use technology. You have to have increased workforce and increased productivity to increase more goods and different things like that. Things have to be fair. You can't have two different rules for different, all this type of stuff. So it has to just make sense. Simple as that. If you have a worker, I don't care if they're the janitor or if they're whatever level they are, if they're generating $1 million of net profit and you're only paying them $50,000, that's not fair. That's not sustainable. Then I wouldn't expect them to hang out. Why would they hang out? If you're paying a CEO or $50 million and they're really only, putting 100,000, that's extreme. This is extreme, right? Let's say $500,000 of value in the company. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? And whatever, fill in the blank. So, I just think that people just want some normalcy. Anyway, I'm saying the same thing different ways, but it all connects in my brain, and I'm trying to articulate this as best as possible. And I think it's important to repeat certain points because it really comes together. So how do we look at these things, right? I think that, well, like in my own life, I think there's people that have misjudged my value, and we'll see. Well, we may see, right? And so it's cool, right? But I mean, or I may see, and that's okay, and that's okay. So that's what it is, You make calls, you got to live with it. But I am a positive person. I think it's getting better. I think it will continue to get better. I think we'll move forward. I think we got to work together. And remember, we have so much more in common than we have, this whole it's like sports teams, this side, blue side, red side, come on, you got to stop, dude. Everyone I get it, but come on. So anyway, that's all I got to say. I said a lot. I went way longer than I wanted to. I got a lot of the work to do, but it had been a while. And I owed my audience something. So I wanted to check in and touch base. I hope that was helpful. And I want to say thank you. And I'm going to say thank you again. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the people out there and the people that are going to see this later that have helped me and stuff like that. And I wish everybody all the best for them, their families, and everybody like that. And let's just make the world a better place. And just, stop and listen to someone. Try to see where they're coming from and connect the dots. And unfortunately, so much in life comes back to money, and that's, as the saying goes, follow the money, and after that, follow the power, and that answers a lot of questions. And just try to engineer your life the way you want it. And again, we need to make sure we've secured things that affect 100% of the people, like free speech and liberty and freedom and equality, freedom, love, opportunity, equality for everybody. And as that one, and I really apologize, I can't remember the person who said it, and it's a very successful entrepreneur, and he had something up on the board, and it's like, it's supposed to be hard. And that's exactly right. It's supposed to be hard. Success is supposed to be hard. A great society is supposed to be, all these things, everything takes work. The vision of the world that you want, it all takes work, right? The perfect fitness routine, the perfect physique, the perfect mind, the perfect world, it all takes work. That's okay. Sign up for the work. I'm here for the work. I'm here for you. I believe in you. I believe in us. We're going to be okay. It's going to happen. So, if you watch my shows, I think I was right. Let's see if this is right. Let's see where we're going right here. But I'm saying coin toss on the economy. If I had to guess, I think it gets better after summer. I think it's close. But it could get way worse. Trump's going to be the Republican nominee, barring some like cataclysmic thing. We'll see what happens with Governor DeSantis' campaign. That's going to be interesting. But he's done a great job as governor. We appreciate him here. There's no doubt about it, and his team and everything. And I'm not punking him out. I'm not saying anything. I'm not casting aspersions or anything like that. I'm just doing political analysis. Don't be mad at me. I'm not running the campaigns. And a lot of interesting things on the Democratic side right there. But again, I think it's going to be President Biden. Why would it be President Biden? So we'll see, But let's increase the light, decrease the heat. Let's work together. And that's all I got to say tonight. But I appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Have a fun night. Have a good weekend. I may see you later this weekend. I may not. Like I said, I've got projects I've got going on right now, and I just like every time I take away from that, it's like I got to do that. But this was important too. So anyway, thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.